We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Hey, it's Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's good though?
What's good with you, bro?
Hey man, did you see or hear? Surprisingly to me, I haven't heard a lot about it. But did you hear about those two Navy SEALs that are that have been like lost on the coast of Somalia?
I have not heard it, bro. I'm gonna tell you, I don't really watch the news too much, man.
No, this is what's funny because I didn't see this on the news. I saw this on TikTok, of course.
Oh, of
But
course.
I get on TikTok, and the first thing that pops up on my For You page is them talking about they said two Navy SEALs basically were apparently getting on some type of Somalian vessel that was somewhere in between Yemen and Somalia, basically, though, man. And yeah, bro, it's kind of a big deal, though, man. It seems something out of a Marvel movie or something, though, bro.
No, that's crazy. No, I ain't
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
anything about it, so I'm about to look it up.
Yeah, man. Saw it on TikTok, man. That's where I get all my. This is funny. TikTok is where I get the first bit of news from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. I usually get my stuff from Facebook, so I guess we right in that same ballpark.
Yeah. Not traditional news for me though. Anyway, though, man.
Nope.
Hey, man, we got some things to get into though, broski.
All right, let's get it.
Let's do it.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast.
If you smell.
Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notifications, you get the heads up that your boys and is doing their thing. Ace Kennedy. Hey, listen, you know what else? Who I found, bro, and started following because of TikTok, bro. There's this congressman, a congresswoman out of Dallas area, though, man. This from Texas, Jasmine Crockett, bro. And I saw I saw her going off on this hearing that people have about Hunter Biden, Hunter Biden, and she is basically just going ham on it. I said, ooh, saw it. I was like, oh my gosh. And what I think that was dope about it, though, bro, is that she is every bit of a sister. Where when I saw her talking, I saw every single black woman I know, bro. And when I actually sit there and watch that, though, bro, I was like, yo, I would totally vote for her, though, bro. If she was in my area, though, man, as a congresswoman, I would totally. You talk about representative and somebody looking like you, though, bro. She looks like every woman. And sound like every black woman that I know going ham on that though, bro. Oh my God.
What you think about him showing up to them trying to vote on him, I guess, or whatever, but he didn't like respond to the hearing that they were gonna do on him?
You know, so okay. I'm inclined to believe, bro, that they are basically trying to go hard on him. And I still don't understand what it is that they're going after him for, but they are really pushing it really hard. And I think that they're kind of deflecting, right? Because I think that what she is saying, right, Jasmine Crockett is saying is, listen, I'm gonna need y'all to have this same kind of energy when we talking about this insurrection of January 6th. And then, let's talk about that. When some of your people was out here hiding, right? They was going at the direction from your president, right? And then your constituents on over here, when the people came through there at the advisement of that of 45. All y'all over here that's out here kikiing and going after this man, all y'all was all over here hiding. Listen, she says that specifically, bro, and I was dying laughing. So listen, I said that to say, I don't know what it is that I don't know what they're so interested in. I think that they are very interested in, I think that his dealings with, I'm assuming dealings with other foreign countries. But that's what I at least heard. But at the same time, I recently saw something about, 45 getting paid pretty good money directly from China, from Iran, from a lot of people who are our so-called, enemies or whatever, while he was a president, though, man. And this is money that was going directly to him that could have been his business ventures or whatever, though, man. But he was getting paid. I think they said something like almost $9-10 million, though, man. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what it is that I have zero clue on what it is that they find so interesting about Hunter Biden. I always see him, and I know that Joe Biden said, yeah, he was on drugs. He'd have been through some stuff, you know what I'm saying? But just like, like Americans, he'd have been through some things. And then he said, ever since he said that, right? Every time I see him, he looks like somebody who is trying to get up. He looks like he's trying to get off drugs to me. Like, it's weird. He could very well have already been off drugs for years, right?
Right.
Just always, ever since I heard him say that, now when I see him, he looks like he's still like fresh off of trying to get off, though, bro.
I mean, and what is the implication that if he can't take care of his own kid, he can't take care of the country? Is that what it is?
I don't know, but they are really going hard at him. And what's crazy to me, though? So the same way how with Hunter Biden, how Hunter Biden looks like he is trying to get off drugs, Donald Trump's kids look like they're freshly on drugs. Like, they always look like they just tooted some lines, though. Like, it looks like if at any time, if you see them behind him, if you just did a little swab of their nose, like, they might have some booger sugar out there, though, bro. They got like a little bit of booger sugar, like they may have just did a little bump right before they went on.
Well, you wow.
Almost like Succession, bro.
Hey, how many states now have blocked Trump from their ballots?
I only know of Michigan and New Hampshire.
Okay, I think it's 2. Yeah, I think it's 2.
Well, wait a minute, because we got a lot of stuff to get into, but I'm not gonna because I don't want to make this a political segment, right?
All right.
But let me tell you about the beauty of TikTok, bro. Ace Kennedy, do you see, I didn't know this until last week. Okay, so Nikki Haley from South Carolina, who is supposedly running for president right now for the Republican Party. I think that she is running, but I think that she's really not planning to win, because I think that the Republican Party fully is going to go ahead and get Trump as their guy. He's their leader of the party. But she's basically running, right? And I think that she's looking to parlay that into like a vice president, position with him, though, right? You know who I'm talking about, Nikki Haley.
Sure.
Okay, so why was I? When people say I was today years old.
Yeah.
Okay, I was today years old to find out that this woman is Indian, not white. Right? She is. Listen, Ace. I saw a picture and they went into it, and she is a Punjabi Indian, like Indian, like yes, she is Indian. She looks white. Now listen, this is why I think this is hilarious, right? Why I think this is hilarious is because they say on her ballot that she identifies as white, right? So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, if you are an Indian American and you have this other Indian American,
Native American?
No, not Native American. No, not Native American. This is Asia Indian, New Delhi Indian, Punjabi Indian. That's her parents. There's a picture that somebody found of her when she was little, and her daddy has the turban like Nick Cannon, and her parents look. And I don't know how she ended up so light that she looks white, but I'm not gonna lie, she looks very much like she is a white woman. But I always thought Nikki Haley. I don't, But listen, the internet is always undefeated, and then the internet is go internet. And somebody on Beyonce's internet that found this picture of her and her parents, and her daddy is sitting here with looking like the Punjabi MC, old Punjabi MC though, bro. And I said, wow, I would have never known. And then wait a minute. Nikki ain't even her real name. Listen. Now let me stop you right there, because that's twofold, right? I mean, I hit you with two TikTok things that you wasn't ready for. So this is one of my favorite videos, lives rent-free in my head, bro. Apparently there was this couple, this gay couple that was on that I only knew as from TikTok, but they were on this show. And so this guy made this video because he was all into it, right? And one of the girls was a very masculine partner. The other one was more feminine, right?
Right.
And I guess apparently somehow, man, she had while they were together, they was like, oh, people were all like infatuated, like, oh, they were so cute or whatever. They wound up going through and they got married or whatever, but they were together for like 8 years or whatever. Somehow, or maybe longer, somehow they go ahead and get divorced, long story short. So they found out they get divorced because this woman found out that she had been giving her the money to pay the bills or whatever, but they don't know where the money has been going, right?
Yeah. I remember the story.
Yeah. So what's funny is the more masculine partner of them, her name was Lysandra. So this dude is like, Lysandra, oh, she got to go. And he says, you imagine you've been paying somebody $4,000 every month for 8 years, and you done found out that money just been gone. And then she getting on TikTok every day talking about, yes, in the name of the Holy Spirit. He said about, forget that, where's that money, Lysandra? And I die laughing. Listen, that video lives rent-free in my head, and I think about it daily for some reason. And that's where, and he says, and then, hold up, Lysandra ain't even a name. So that's when I saw the thing about Nikki Haley, I said, and then, hold up, Nikki ain't even her name though, bro. I said, oh my gosh, this woman is literally an Indian woman passing as a white woman, bro, in front of everybody.
Right. But I bet she probably figures if I'm gonna get elected, if my goal, let me ask you this. Do you think that's wrong? If she's like, look, the goal for me is to make change, and if I have to do that by doing this, then it's working.
See, I would feel you if I understood your stances, because she takes a very Republican stance on immigration. She's on the hard side, not right-wing Republican, but she's not middle either, though. So I would understand what you mean if she says, hey, if this is what I got. Ted Cruz is the same way, bro. Ted Cruz, Ron DeSantis, all of them are that same way. I think that if you didn't know better, even though his name is Ted Cruz, you wouldn't know that Ted Cruz is a Latino, right? And you wouldn't know that Ron DeSantis is Italian based off of his views and everything like that. But I think that even with them, seem like they to me are doing what you say, right? They're doing what they have to do for namesake or whatever to kind of stay on that ballot, right? Because they are essentially minorities, right? But she is just no, bro. And I found that out on TikTok, bro.
Yeah.
God bless TikTok, man.
Hey, man, some new music. Did you hear that 21 Savage?
No, I didn't hear the
only reason why I'm asking because the street said that it's probably the rap album of the year so far.
Really?
Yeah, and I was kind of like 21 Savage, like, and it's nothing against 21 Savage. It's just that, you know, lyrically, I don't think he whatever lane he's in, he does his lane. You know what I'm saying? He don't try to be nobody else. He sounds like 21 Savage every time he raps. So I think that I have nothing against 21 Savage. I'm just saying when you stack him up with some lyricists though, like when he had the Drake and 21 album, right? People were saying Drake was just rapping around him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to see. I didn't know if you had heard it or not because you know I'm more of the R&B head anyway.
No, listen. Let me give you my quick take on it. And I haven't listened to it.
Okay.
What I do expect is for the production to be A1. I fully expect this production to be A1 because regardless of what you think about him as a rapper, he's never gonna rap on a whack beat, right? Yeah. That's one thing. Two, if it came out here in January, that means right now, I am executive producing PBR. And I can almost guarantee you that lyrically it's going to be better. It's now making me think I need to make sure that his production is A1 because I don't have anything against 21 Savage. I'm just saying that I believe in my man's enough to where it's banging. Like what we cooking up right now is banging. And I'm just going to tell you that if you tell me that that people are saying that 21 Savage has that, and granted, it's early in the year, right? But if they say, oh, this is an early contender, this is solid, that's cool. I'm trying to tell you what we cooking up over here, top notch. Now, that being said, right, while it wasn't quite 2024, I did finish listening to the Pink Print too. And overall, bro, I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. As you would be hard pressed to find a bigger Nicki Minaj. I think she is the GOAT female MC. If the old Source ratings were around, I would give this maybe 3.5 mics. And if somebody said it's a 3, I would understand, bro. I haven't listened to because I'm in a space now where I don't have the opportunity to listen to a lot of music. So when I do listen to something, I'm selective on it. But it's Nicki, so I gotta listen to it though, bro. And I gotta be honest with you though, man. I can't help but compare her stuff to the other women that are out there that got these big songs. And when I listen to it though, man, she may have two big songs where I think they're big, but I don't think that they're bigger than some of the big songs, right? In fact, my favorite song on it is one of the songs that's one of the big. My favorite song on there is she got this song with Wayne and somebody else called R&B that I think is fire song, but it's not like a commercial kind of song. But I didn't listen to 21, but I finished listening to the Nicki. And when I say finish listening to it, I like to listen to it, a few times over just to make sure that I'm hearing everything and all that. But when I listen to it though, bro, it's almost like she got the names as far as the features go.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of Wayne, I don't even think that she got the best version of them. Like she got a song with Future that I think is just meh. It's okay. She got an okay verse from Drake. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not whack, but it's not the craziest I've heard. J. Cole has been killing everything, everybody on their track. She got a song with him that I think is just man, and maybe she got the J. Cole before he was killing everybody, bro. But nah, listen to it though, man, and very, very disappointed though, man, because you and I talk, Megan coming, you know what I'm saying? Cardi still coming. And for as much as people, dislike, Sexy Red is pretty hot right now to the teens. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I heard her album wasn't that great though.
I listen. I don't listen to. I don't listen to her music enough. I just know that in Black pop culture, she is very relevant now.
True, but I still heard the album wasn't that great.
Yeah, I listen. I don't. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know how you could listen to 10 songs of Sexy Red and have high expectations. Like I didn't listen to Glorilla whole album. I only listened to a couple of songs. But I think that but even Glorilla is starting to put out new music and everything. And it's weird because I think that I can only really listen to like a few of those kind of artists songs at a time. But Nicki's though, what I was specifically listening to is that if you tell me that it's Pink Print 2, I'm expecting it to be as good as Pink Print 1, which is a classic album. Not just classic female, it's a classic album. And when I listened to it though, man, I think that I was just, I'm not gonna lie, I was just disappointed in the lack of true bangers. Like it's some cool songs on there, but the first time I listened to it, I gave it a minute each song. And I was like, nope, this ain't it though. Went back and listened to it a second time, all the way through bar for bar. And she's talking that Nicki talk, you know what I'm saying? And there's some times where I think it's cool, but as a project though, bro, it's a swing and a miss. And the bad part about it is that she's rapping though, bro. Like she is really rapping. And it wasn't for me though, bro. I was disappointed. It hurt my heart to say it too.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm still in the same spot. I kind of bounced around. What about friend of the show, The Game? Did you hear his new project?
Didn't listen to The Game either. Like I said, so it's always tough because the way I look at it for me is that like when I'm in artist mode, I block out a lot of people's music. But then because I'm working very much on the PBR project though, man, I'm in artist mode. So I'm looking at and it's a little bit more pressure than artist mode because I'm executive producing his, right? So it's like it's the whole motion of his playlist. It's every single thing. And so I'm so into his that I'm actually not stashing beats for myself for him. Like I'm giving him the best of the best that I think anyway, though. So I haven't really had time to listen to a lot of people. That's why I didn't listen to the 21. But now that you mentioned that, I'm looking forward to checking it out, though.
I will say I listened to Omarion's album, and it was good. It was good. I
still didn't listen to I didn't listen to the recent Chris Brown yet.
11-11.
Yeah,
I ain't finished it. I started it, but I ain't finished it. I don't even know how I finished the Omarion album, to be honest.
Let me ask you this though, bro. I hear some Chris Brown songs on the radio, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think about when Chris Brown is singing on the Afro beats?
I like it.
I think I do too, bro. I don't know why. I kind of didn't like it at first. And it didn't take long for it to grow on me, though, bro.
I think it's because it sounds different, right? Like we've heard Chris do the singing rap thing, and I think the last project showed that the audience was looking for something different from him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I need to listen to the 11-11, but yeah.
Yeah, I do like that it's a different sounding Chris Brown. Like we always say, if you put on a Chris Brown song, I got an idea of what he's going to be talking about. And maybe even now he's talking about the same things on those songs. It just feels different to me though. But I like it though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump into some football, bro. I see that Travis Kelce's brother's retiring. He said he hanging it on up after that Eagles loss.
The Eagle, listen, bro. Shout out to my brother from another mother, Mark Nurse, aka Mark Knows Everybody, and I'm hoping that he is grieving. Because listen, bro, I have been telling him. I sent him a note a couple of weeks ago, and I said, bro, the Eagles are stupid. The Eagles are just stupid. Like my team is just sorry. And I don't want to just dump on your team, but I think the Bears are also sorry, right? This year.
I mean, you ain't dumping on my team.
But I'm just saying. I don't want to feel like I'm just bringing down your team just because my team's sorry. I knew by week 3 that Derek Carr wasn't it and my season was over with. But that gave me the opportunity to just watch other teams, right? So when people try to say, especially when we go get into these Cowgirls, and when they say, oh, all you do is just talk about our team, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, I'm a fan of football. And I think that this season, more than any other, in recent memory, allowed me to just watch football and appreciate it holistically. But the Eagles, though, bro, this is the one thing that I've learned about the Eagles. And they're talking about firing their coach, right? These fans are. I saw somebody dump popcorn on the coach. A fan dumped popcorn on the coach when he was walking out in Tampa. He walking under the runway, and they dumped popcorn over there and told him to get out of town. Which for me, I'm running up in the stands though. At that point, I'm going Ron Artest. I'm going that boy Stack 5. I'm running up in the stands. But I think the problem with the Eagles is the problem that I think that other coaches, that other teams seem to have, right? Is that when you get to the Super Bowl and when people start to look at your success, they start to look at the components of your team and say, oh, okay, I like that. Or you put them on display, so let me go ahead and see what's up. So for starters, it started out early on that their DBs, everybody was like, oh, they DBs are trash, right? Trash. And I think that they got Darius Slay, and I think that Slay is good. But I think that what happened is that it made now Darius Slay is always going to have to guard the top guy. And it's like he did very little help. And they let go C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who was on the Saints. That's why I'm familiar with him. He's over at Detroit. And then when you guess it, Detroit now is still moving on, right? But then I think on top of that, though, man, I think that then the big thing is you pulled both of his coordinators, right? So you pulled his offensive coordinator who was calling the plays. You pulled their defensive coordinators who was setting up the defense, and their coach, Nick Sirianni, as far as I'm aware, he doesn't actually call the plays. He is basically like he's a delegator. And I think that he was great at putting together a great staff. And that's smart because that's basically saying, all right, you're not the smartest guy in the room. You're surrounding yourself with other smarter people. And as the captain, you're delegating though, bro. But I think that it's a clear when people look at their team and say that their team is just different. It's different because it's led differently though, bro. And I think that but they're stupid from the standpoint of the fact that you know glaringly what your weaknesses are. And I just don't think that they address them because I don't think that they have the staff that would be able to make the adjustments and address them. So that's the same way how offensively and how defensively, they just kept getting beat. They kept getting all the pressure on Jalen Hurts, and they never made the adjustment. They ran the exact same blitz on them all game long and never made the adjustments. But the staff was just different, though, bro. And that's why I think that they're just stupid. They have all the talent on the team, but it was just stupid, bro. It's just they had no business losing like that.
Well, they ain't lose as bad as Dallas, bro.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because I couldn't wait for this one.
The Dallas Cowboys have fallen yet again. And this time to, what's Love's first name? Jordan Love?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love from the Green Bay Packers threw them out the building, bro. At they home. In Jerry World, you got stomped out like that, bro.
Pounded.
That boy Skip was going crazy, bro.
I was off right on Monday. And usually on like one of them company holidays, I try to sleep in a little bit. I was like, nah. I'm getting up early on this day. Because I saw on TikTok the night of the game, Skip had threw the jerseys in the trash again. Last time he did this was the Dak or the Ezekiel Elliott jerseys or whatever, right? And so I was laughing. I said, nope, I'm trying to get there early for this one. I want to get there early. I'm sitting here in front of my TV, 9:30 on the dot, with my coffee in my hand, just smiling from ear to ear, though, bro. And I absolutely loved it, though.
Yo, did you see First Things First, bro? That big old F that they brought out?
Oh, my gosh. I saw all the shows. I literally was locked in from 9:30. I wanted to see what Shannon and Stephen A said. I wanted to see what Skip had to say. I wanted to see what Michael Irvin had to say. I wanted to see what Keyshawn and Sherman Williams had to say. I wanted to see what the boys from First Thing First had to say. I wanted to see what Colin Coward had to say. I wanted to see what Pat McAfee and them had to say.
I was about to say, you ain't mentioned my boy yet.
No, I wanted to see what Pat McAfee wanted to say. I wanted to see what Speak For Yourself had to say. I was locked in, and it never got old, though, bro. I was literally smiling the entire time, though, bro.
I need to check in and see what Charlemagne said. That's what I need to do.
Listen, here's the reason why, right? This is the reason why I think that it was so poetic justice about how it never failed. And I tried to explain this to somebody. It never fails, right? That I would like to think that as a Saints fan, that I have realistic expectations. I looked at Derek Carr after 3 games and said, nope, he ain't it. And if you don't got it there, right? If he ain't it, if you have a historic defense, if you got some things like that, there are some scenarios where you could overcome bad quarterback play. But he's the highest paid player on the team because he's taking the ball for the most. He has the most snaps. He's touching the ball. He influences the game the most. So I looked at him and said, my season is over after 3 games. I was very realistic. And it didn't matter if we won the division. It didn't matter if we win it. I knew he couldn't beat any of the other guys, right? Realistic. Bruh. When I saw that they was talking about Dak Prescott is an MVP candidate. And when I'm realistically saying, who exactly are y'all playing then, right? Because when you think about it, they got blasted by the 49ers, right? They got blasted by the times that they played good teams. Aside from the Eagles, because again, you look at it, the Eagles had already started losing 6 of 7 of their last games, right? They were already imploding, right? The Eagles. You lost to the Cardinals, right? You only beat the sorry teams, all the sorry teams. So that means to tell me that you are good. You are really good at beating sorry teams. Like if you were to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys would in the Super Bowl would play against the Carolina Panthers or the Jets in the Super Bowl, bro, if they were going to play against this Tennessee Titan, I would tell you that the Cowboys are going to win, right? But I think that the part that got me the most is I think that the Dallas Cowboy fans realistically just forgot about the last 28 years, right? And just said no. I heard people say this is going to be a historically great defense, despite Stephon Diggs getting hurt early. I heard people compare Micah Parsons to Lawrence Taylor. They had the bro from who had the record for most pick sixes in the season. He was cold. He was out there doing his thing. Then Van Der Esch got hurt again, and they said, "Oh, he getting old anyway. We ain't need him. We good. We still on board." That was it. So when I see all of this, and wait a minute, they had the easy route because again, you've been beating all the sorry inferior teams at your crib.
Then the refs handed you the Lions game.
Handing them the Lions game. Oh, they was handing them the Lions game, right? So when I look at that, I said, wow, well, I can't wait for them to do their usual annual collapse. They surprised even me because I didn't think it was going to happen this soon, and I didn't think it was going to happen in this fashion, bro. Like, seriously. And now they was when I listen, I almost watched. So I was setting up the studio, right? And when I kept caught on to the game early, I got a text from my cousin. He says, "Boy, if Green Bay we beat these Cowboys, this one they ain't gonna never let me hit it." I said, "Wait a minute." I'm looking at the score on Bleacher Report. These boys up 14-0 early, first quarter. I said, "God dang." I turn on the game and then they just keep on routing. And I'm over here just smiling. But I'm trying to hold my reaction because anything can happen, though, bro. But when they went up 27-7, I think it was, I said, oh my gosh. Set my year, bro. It completely set my year all right.
All right. So with that being said, bro, is the Cowboys getting Belichick?
I hope they don't. I hope that with all things equal, they bring back Mike McCarthy. I hope that they say they steal them boys. I hope that they bring back that. I hope they say, no, we're going to run it back with the same guys. Run it back down. Y'all don't need Bill Belichick. Run it back with Mike McCarthy. He got y'all 12 wins this year, 12 wins that y'all steal them boys. Y'all don't need Belichick. Run it back. I know as long as y'all tell me that y'all steal them boys, I know that typically guarantees me that y'all ain't going to win. And that's somebody who disliked the talent. And again, and let me preface it with saying, I don't necessarily hate the Cowboys. I don't like them, but I extremely dislike Dallas Cowboy fans, including my mama. She don't the gloves come off. You know what's funny? After the game, I did a video call with my family, right? All my family Cowboy fans, except for my brother Ken. He a Steelers fan. His boys got dealt with the other day too. But with that being said, though, bro, I call them all of them. They ain't got nothing to say out here. Y'all. Then if this ain't y'all do, y'all didn't even make it. Y'all gonna do. Ken, your team got the Steelers. Y'all gonna be over here with us too. Y'all gonna. I'm like, no, we talking about y'all right now. Since y'all like to say everybody else is talking about y'all team, I'm gonna need y'all to answer for y'all team. Oh my gosh, so man, get them boys the hell out of my face. I'm glad it happened sooner than I expected. But get them out of my face, though, man. I ain't got to worry about them for another 3-4 months and weeks straight, bro. Get them the hell out of my face.
So the realistic possibility is that Belichick is having some great conversations with Atlanta. What you think about that?
Listen, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you, bro. As a Saints fan, I don't care. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I like Belichick. I think that Belichick should bring some stability. This man is 78 years old, right? He come on, he's like 78 years old. Realistically, if we're being honest, I'm not that impressed with Bill Belichick without Tom Brady. If you're telling me he gonna bring Tom Brady to the Falcons, then maybe I might be nervous. But I'm not afraid of Bill Belichick with the Falcons. And listen, they don't have a quarterback still, so maybe even if they keep talking about they might try to go after Justin Fields. And for the record, bro, I think the Bears should get rid of Justin Fields and get Caleb Williams. But I'm not afraid. And listen, I think it would be good for the Falcons, right? But I think at the same time, I think that the expectations with the Falcons are just a little different, right? They not. I don't think they thinking we get Bill Belichick, we going to the Super Bowl. At least some of the Falcon fans that I know aren't as delusional as Cowboy fans are, right? So I think that the combination of Arthur Blank and Bill Belichick would work. It's one that I wouldn't mind seeing, though, man. I feel like our chances of winning is still the same. We got rid of almost all of our offensive coaches. I think that our coach was trying to save his own tail by doing that. He the next to go. He gonna listen. I think, bro, if we not by next season, if we're not 4-2, by 4-2, they gonna fire him for the rest of the season early. Get him out of there. They can fire him right now, and I'd be cool with it. But I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Bill. Ultimately, I'm saying I'm not. That's a long-winded. It doesn't matter to me as a Saints fan, but as a football fan, I wouldn't mind Belichick being at the Falcons, though, man.
Yeah. Well, transitioning from one great coach to the next, Nick Saban finally decides to retire. Now, since he's retiring, the narrative that Ahmad is going with is that he knew Texas was coming to the SEC, so he had to get on out of there. That's my narrative. Can't nobody change it. What's your thoughts about Saban, bro? And the hire that they got Washington's coach.
Okay, so here's the thing I think this is the thing I think that's gonna be. It's good for them that they went ahead and got this coach from Washington because from what I've read, he's won everywhere he's gone, right? So I do think that it's cool, but it's not Saban. It's not Saban, and I think that it's going to be a glaring difference that it's not Saban. And here's the thing I think that's interesting. You can tell because they've had this mass exodus of players, commitments that have gone. They got 5 of their 5-star players that have all left and committed to go to Florida State. So listen, watch for Florida State to be pretty good next year. As long as they can get quarterback down right, Florida State's going to be pretty good because they got a bunch of Bama guys, though, man. But I think that the interesting part to me is this. I think that the one thing that I would have wanted to see Nick Saban do, and you can tell it wasn't a planned thing, is that I honestly think I like how Bill Belichick, how he had a plan. All right, he's going to retire, and they're going to make Gerard Mayo the coach. That was the plan if he was going to retire. I think that what Bama should have done was had a contingency plan to say, all right, if you retire, this guy, whether it's your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator, whatever, we're going to go ahead and make him. I think that provides you some stability to your program because now, man, you got everybody leaving that thing, though, bro. So
right, they went after Sark.
I like the Sark and his wife staying out there in Texas. Listen, I just don't think that Bama is. I laugh. I say, yo, Bama is about to go back to the Mike Shula days. And I don't think that they're going to go back to the Mike Shula days. Those are the days that I don't think that people from Bama quite remember. They had some all right teams, but Mike Shula they got him up out of there because he didn't win them championships. But I don't think that Bama, as the people in the present day know it, is going to be the same. And to me, if anything, that opens up for Georgia finally to be the new Bama, right? And in terms of recruiting, I don't. And here's the thing. Let me ask you this.
All right.
As a Texas fan, does playing in the SEC feel a little different without Bama being Bama? Like, is beating Bama the same as beating Bama with Nick Saban?
To me, it doesn't matter because we beat Bama with Nick Saban. So that doesn't bother me that we're not playing that Bama anymore because we came over to the SEC with the expectations to win. So my thing is now whoever the top dog is, so if that's Georgia, then we going after them.
Listen, man, I mean, ultimately, right, we would have to win the SEC, we would have to beat Georgia. I think that beating Bama is just a little bit more sweeter by beating Saban. Like, it's not just beating Bama. It's beating Saban to me, though, bro. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
but is beating OU any less special now that what's his name that went to USC or that Bob Stoops ain't there? Like they still OU.
I'm gonna be honest with you. So the reason why I think that's a little different is the fact that why it's different because that's our direct rival, right? But I do think beating this OU, it's like you got an outsider. Like it did. So yes, it did mean something to me when we would beat Stoops and then beat Lincoln Riley because he was from the lineage, right? He was from that family. So yeah, it would be like don't get me wrong.
What's his
like
name is from the lineage?
Who?
The coach that they have now.
No, he's
Venables.
not. He's from
Venables.
Venables is from.
Bro,
I thought Venables is from the Nick Saban them and Dabo Swinney them.
Venables was their defensive coordinator, right? Then he brought in his brother, Mike Stoops, as the co-coordinator. So then he left and went to what, Clemson or whatever. That's why they wanted him. Yeah, Venables is.
But then in that case, then yeah, I would it would hold true. Like, yeah, it does mean to me. This is my thing. Yes, it does mean something more when you're beating the family tree. That's just my opinion, though. It makes it that much sweeter. It's just like it would be like if Kirby Smart went to Alabama, if he took the Bama job, and then they went and hired in Georgia went and hired Florida State's coach, right? Beating Georgia is beating Georgia. But it's a little different when you beating the guy. Like, yeah, it does to me. And so I like that we beat Nick Saban's Bama team.
Right, we did before he left. And so we got the last lick, and it is the way I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But I mean,
these other dudes who are gonna be there, most of them ain't gonna even be around. They leaving so much that it's gonna be so it ain't like, oh, we remember. No, y'all wasn't even there, bro. So that's why I think it's different.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, they bring in Washington's coach, and we owe him one. So I don't care what he put on the field. We better stump a mud hole in him, bro.
I agree 1,000%, bro. I am curious to see how it goes, though. But I do like that. I do like how the Patriots brought in Gerard Mayo because to me it's twofold, right? I mean, it addresses the Rooney Rule, right? That you got a brother in there. But I mean, aside from that, they must have saw that he had head coaching potential years ago because I think that when they redid his contract, and it's very similar to how people thought they did Josh McDaniels, right? Where they thought that he was going to be the head coach in waiting, and so this was truly it though. So I think that's pretty fire though, man.
So what about Harbaugh? Is he gonna stay at Michigan?
Harbaugh had an interview at the Chargers, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think though, even though he's interviewing, if you're interviewing, that means you're interested. And so to me, I think that all right, mission accomplished. You done won the championship at Michigan. Listen, I think I'm gonna keep it a stack. I'm happy. Shout out to my other brother Courtney.
Yeah, I was gonna give Courtney his props after we finished talking about it.
He told me this year feels different, right? This year feels like no, this is our year. Let me tell you, if Harbaugh leaves Michigan, they in a worse position than anybody, right? Because you think about it. They're in a worse position than Alabama because now he's going through like at least, Nick Saban then left. Boom, they went ahead and made their hire right then. So it's like now that if Harbaugh leaves, it's like they're behind the 8 ball on the coaching. But not just that though, man. Expect the same thing. All of those guys who came there to play for Harbaugh, they didn't just go. They didn't want to just go to Michigan. They want to play for him. So I think that, listen, Michigan goes back. They go back to being the redhead stepchild to Ohio State, man, if they lose. And so that's why when all of these fans for Ohio State was calling for Ryan Day to get fired, it's like, bro, just wait. He's going to be back as the number 1 team. He's going to be, to me, I think he's going to be back beating Michigan because I just don't think that Michigan is the same Michigan without Harbaugh, though, bro. So if I'm Harbaugh, though, I go to San Diego. If the bread right, I go ahead and make that move. I keep calling them San Diego, LA.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got, bro?
Yo, I know you've seen it by now. Okay. Stephen A. Smith, Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
Pipe bomb, right?
We didn't talk about this last week, did
No, we didn't talk. This happened after. I think this happened the next day, right?
Okay.
So Stephen A. Smith went in on like a 45-minute rant, tirade, soliloquy, whatever you want to call it, about Jason Whitlock. Now, this is the funny thing. I've heard that Jason Whitlock is probably one of the worst of the worst. I haven't seen him on TV like that in years. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was on Fox in the spot of Speak for Yourself, right? He was one of their original hosts when they revamped everything from Fox, and they got a bunch of people on over. Like when they launched Fox Sports Net, I think he was one of those people who they brought over to help, get everything situated. But I've always heard bad stuff about him. But the one thing about it that I never appreciated about him is I never appreciated that he kind of had that Candace Owens feel, right? Where it always felt like, to me, I think that Candace Owens always seems to have a platform, because I've always felt like I'm gonna play a race card here.
No, just say it, bro.
But I think that
if there's some black people that need to be talked about, she was gonna talk about.
Yeah, if there are some black people that need to be talked about, or if there was somebody who felt who if there was a black person who had something negative to say about black people, I think that certain white platforms would say, well, we can't say it without getting in trouble, but we got somebody, one of theirs, who will speak to it, right? And I think that was always the play with Candace Owens. I think that to me was her popularity. That was her lane. I think that Jason Whitlock was very much the same, where he always had something to say about, and mind you, I mean, listen, football, the majority of the players are black. Basketball, even more of the majority are black. So I understand that, hey, it's an easier target if that's what he's doing. But I've never, very rarely have I heard him say something positive, say something that's meaningful, fruitful, beneficial about a black athlete, about black issues and everything like that. And then come to find out, here it is, there's all these, industry dealings or whatever that people have said. And I think that apparently Stephen A. Smith had his memoirs, where Stephen A. Smith always tells this story about how he went to a tryout for North Carolina State, right? And how he went out here, though, man, and made 17 threes in a row. I know the story so much that it feels almost like the Al Bundy story of scoring 4 touchdowns in the game, right? So he comes out here, he shoots 17 threes in a row, makes all the threes. Said, I've never had a better shooting day ever. Since then, not before or after, he gets offered a scholarship right on the spot. So then Jason Whitlock is just coming out here dumping on him. Bro, seriously. What he's like, calling it a lie, basically saying, Stephen A. Smith, I guess he had been doing these things, poking the bear for years. So Stephen A. Smith says, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and unload on you one time, that's it. Goes on in, and it is crazy, because it's always funny to me when you see somebody who is so very PC for TV and you see them go off script and they're cussing, right? So I'm sure Stephen A. Smith has to cuss off camera. But when I saw him on camera, it felt a little weird, right? But he's going in on Whitlock, though, man, and I'm blown away, because it's and he's name dropping a lot of people that I'm sure that they also didn't have to kind of answer that, because he's like, yo, if you don't believe me, ask this person, ask that person. He has this. His resume isn't so great in the industry and whatnot, though, bro. But this is my thing. My question to you is this, though. Do you just ignore the hate? Like, how long do you go Do you address it at all?
I think everybody's entitled to that straw that broke the camel's back moment, and I think, hey, I think that he looked at everybody around him, had some sort of moment. This was his moment. And yes, he was also going to give Whitlock a platform because we're on here talking about him now, and we ain't talked about him in years. So I think that that's the case, but I also feel like, hey, nah, bro, you went on your little platform and said what you had to say, so now I'm gonna go on my big platform, and because he already gave him some on ESPN, you know what I'm saying? He already gave him some. So the fact that he took it further and dedicated the show to him, he campaigned for that and he got elected. So I was here for it because I tuned in and I told you I don't like Stephen A. like that.
Oh man, I think the thing that here's the thing I always look for. Very simple, very much like how the Cat Williams, right? I look for somebody to say, "Hey, is he lying?" Because I never heard what I think validated Cat Williams is that nobody said, "Nah, he lying. He made this up," right? So Stephen A. No one has came out and said, "Nah, he lying. That ain't true."
No, there's been people that actually said that he wasn't lying.
Right.
Yeah, Jamel Hill talked about it. Levitar talked about it. So yeah. It's I knew everything that he was saying was true because I've heard it all before. It's just that the fact that I don't have any disagreements on anything that Stephen A. did. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here for it because you brought his name up first, so you can't be mad for how a person responds. So I was here for it.
Here's the thing I think that's crazy to me, right? So what I think is crazy to me is that you go on your platform and you're clout chasing, basically, right? You are basically getting out here because their whole thing is Stephen A. Smith is doing everything that you want to do, right? But you can't do it because of the bridge that you burned, right? And I think that the part that's crazy to me about it is so now you out here and you're clout chasing, and you're looking for the attention, right? And as much as people might not like Stephen A. Smith, right? Stephen A. Smith is a pop culture icon at this point. And when I say icon, I mean he's a staple. Most people know his face. Like, listen, Neek doesn't watch Sports Center. She doesn't watch sports. She's not into sports at all. But I know she knows his face. She probably knows who he is, right? And I think it's crazy to me that now, right, that you were looking for that attention and somebody who is very current amongst pop culture brings you up, and now you talk about the using your platform right now. Everybody who knows Stephen A. Smith knows this about you, right? So it's like if your reputation wasn't stained before, it's picked up everywhere. I saw BET did an article on it. Essence did an article on it. There's no platform that's not talking about it now. So it's like, you was looking for that smoke. Now you to burn the fire down, right? And so I'm thinking, like, bro, I think that it's crazy to me that when you look at it from that lens, right, that you were looking for one of the most popular, or probably him and Shannon, right? The most popular sports people are talking about it. But it's one thing to get them talking, but it's like, well, their platforms are hearing, and not just their platforms are hearing it. It's like, well, now everybody who's aware of who this person is talking about it, though, bro. And they say these things about you. He's put out these facts about you, right? That just eviscerated everything
stuff
about
that you can check out because he
you
brought
can
in
check
articles.
these things.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see, somebody has brought out facts, and nobody has came out to dispute anything that he said. I think that that's what makes the whole thing crazy to me. Yeah, I don't know, man. That definitely was one of those. Listen, somebody was like, "Yeah, Stephen A. was just cooking just because he saw Shannon turn up with the Cat Williams with the interview of the year. He had to go ahead and match that energy." I don't know, man. 2024, It's been one of them ones though, man. Like, yeah.
Get your stuff off. That's what it is.
Yeah, people are out here truth telling and fact checking, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, man, this Tuesday, what you got going on for the week, bro?
Man, listen, I am trying to get in this studio to get this song recorded so I can get this album done. It's just one song haunting me, bro. No, just trying to get it done. That's about it, man. What about you?
Listen, man. As soon as we get done, I'm trying to finish. I got the new setup done, right? And I was telling you before that I had this crazy echo that I was trying to get rid of, and I think I finally got rid of it with my new acoustic panels put on up. So I think I'm gonna put up 2 more in there, and those would be all I would want to put up anyway. But yeah, I got the studio feel going on in there though. Dope ambiances though, man. So I'm getting back in the lab, and I actually what I'm looking forward to doing is there are a couple of choruses that I have for my own project for some beats that I want to at least put down, and then finish doing some writing. So it's like since I haven't recorded anything new probably in maybe a good month and a half. But I had all these ideas that I'm hoping to go ahead and get on out here sometime this week. Plus, we're supposed to get some inclement weather going on between tomorrow. So I think tomorrow will be a pretty right time to go ahead and do something like that, though.
See, we already live in that. We have virtual school today, and I worked from home today because of the inclement weather. So that's already in Oklahoma.
Wow.
I did want to say though, bro, your boy had the opportunity to go ahead and do the national anthem for the Thunder this past Saturday. Dope experience. The only complaint that I have though is that the girl Charlie stole my shine, bro. Like, first of all, it's a whole story on how she even got to go, because I had it set up to where me and the homies was gonna hang out, give them some experience that they, don't get to have, whatever the case may be. But it worked out how it worked out. And the girl Charlie came through, and bruh, I'm talking about people was pulling her right and left to do this stuff. The cheerleaders had her doing stuff. We ready to go to our seat. We gotta wait for her because she out here dancing and stuff. Next thing I know, I turn around, she got some pom-poms. I'm like, man, where the pom-poms come from? Like, she just out here doing the most, bruh. Rumbled and run up on her. They hugging and embracing like they ain't seen each other. Yeah, just superstar, bro. So it was dope. She did her thing, and of course, you know her in true Charlie fashion. As soon as she got done eating her Dippin' Dot, she was like, "All right, I'm ready to go." Like, no, man, we watching this whole game. So yeah.
I can't even handle my business. I'm ready to slide, bro.
Right, I did everything I didn't need to do.
No, that is hilarious, bro. That is hilarious.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, let's get on out of here.
Yeah. Hey, man. Well, let's get the people home, man.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. Brotherz podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.